year, the seniors choose a member of the class to be the class speaker. It is my pleasure to welcome this year's class speaker, Yakubos Anastasakis.
Wow. It is truly surreal to be up here. For those of you who did not know, my name is Yakubos Anastasakis, which apparently is Greek for drama queen. Having been bestowed the incredible honor of being the final voice in my class to culminate our past 4 years, my first question I pondered was, how do I make this memorable? Given these wonderful nicknames through the years, Yakubos, Chocolate Bob, Chocolate Bar, Yakubos, Nasty Sock, and many more by my compassionate classmates. I could stand here and get the last laugh, but I like to get my diploma. No. The real reason I can make this speech memorable is by speaking from the heart and providing my own perspective as to what all these years meant to us, the class of 2000. I want to start off by saying Wellington is a perplexing school. We are the only people I know that clap when a plate breaks in the cafeteria or proudly proclaim that their football team has been undefeated since 1982. Even though we are restricted by many rules, we are the only school that chooses to encourage a date, to break a world record, or to post a goofy Harlem Shake video on YouTube. We are simply unique. Unique, not in a bad way. Strange, sure. We are unique because whether it is our incredible teachers who find various ways to engage students to let them find a voice in class, or every single student who sprinkles his or her own color to the massive painting that is our school, we are all in it together. Wellington instills creative measures for every individual to be involved, whether it is in a sport, an art, or a club. We do whatever it takes for every student to be comfortable with who he or she is and find their place of belonging. This senior class holds, for instance, many lifers, students who joined in the beginning of middle school, students who joined in the beginning of high school, and even a student who joined as a senior. Regardless of when we enrolled, it was tremendously easy to adapt and feel a sense of fitting in, with many of our friends now seeming inseparable. It's hard to summarize Wellington and what it really means to the class of 2013 in a short speech. However, I think our thoughts about Wellington can be best compartmentalized into the 3 F's: food, friends, and family. Food. No, I'm not talking about when we have eggplant and how everyone happens to go out for lunch that day. Fine, more for me. Nor am I talking about the hundreds of times I had to painstakingly endure the mispronunciation of gyro during Greek day. I'm referring to food as a symbol of the choices we have. Just like our dining room that serves an abundant variety of foods, the choices I'm referring to go on a boundary beyond. Even though we are a small school, a plethora of options are available to us in countless ways. A student who has never played softball can get that chance to play in the game. A student can be devoted to an instrument in band class, but also have time to run for class president. We are a microcosm of any public school that provides an ample opportunity for students to immerse themselves in whatever they like. For instance, I decided to come out of my middle school basketball retirement and play basketball for Wellington one last time. I'm awful, those of you who didn't know. But the opportunity was there. And some of my most cherished memories came because of it. I remember hearing the roaring chant of my name during the boys' basketball senior night, in which Coach McCants looked at me and said, "Yuck, get in there." So I went in with 2 minutes left, and I missed both my free throws and a jump shot, becoming the first ever player to retire a 0% across all stats in volleyball. Think about it, a 0%. I didn't care though, because I had the chance. And every one of my classmates can think to themselves and say, they may have tried something that they weren't good at, and possibly even embarrass themselves, but at least they experienced it. Friends. It is very easy to make friends here at Wellington. With a high school enrollment shy of 200 students, everyone knows each other, which could be a good thing and also kind of a bad thing. I think I can speak for the majority of my classmates when I say that sometimes you wish you went to a school of 2,000 kids, just so you can start new, or that everyone doesn't know everything about you. Still, every person here has been able to find that rock, a foundation, if you will, to blossom an immeasurable friendship. But even though everyone has his or her group that they feel comfortable in, we all feel comfortable around one another. With that said, our class has had its rough times. There was conflict among peers, and quite frankly, the divide among us would become exceedingly apparent. However, I just want to say that through this difficult journey, we became stronger as a class, as a unit. And as the old adage goes, it's not how you start, but how you finish, can certainly be applied to us. Just take a moment, seniors, to think about that final run down the hallway on our last day of school. Just like our journey through high school, it started out slow, but in the end it picked up and we all finished the run together. Regardless of who we traditionally hung out with, we all came together that moment to hug and say our goodbyes because we realized all the drama, problems, and stress that we had with each other meant absolutely nothing. I understand that all of us aren't perfect and that we will find some annoyance with one another, but don't think of that as a bad thing. On the contrary, it's a beautiful thing. Such a small, tight-knit school like Wellington makes us learn to embrace our differences and imperfections, to look past any frustrations we may have with each other. In a way, we are all brothers and sisters. Which leads me to my third point, family. I don't think any family in this world has ever gone through a long period of time without conflict. Even though we must have heard the word family or community used at least 1,000 times in our high school career, you have to begin to think, why is that? Is it just because Wellington wants to protect its name, or could it be in the literal sense in which we're all related together? Because in that case, Mr. Neely would definitely be the crazy uncle with way too many cats. No. We say family with our heads held up high because we really are. Many of us have shared crayons with one another in kindergarten. Many of us went through that awkward teenager phase in middle school. And we've all seen Jordan Tunnell grow the manliest beard. Now don't tell me that isn't family. On a less hairy note, we grew up together. We bickered, we fought, and we shared the same defining childhood moments. Now, at the final breath of our high school career, look at where we've come. As we continue our future endeavors, it's imperative not to hold on to our past, but remember, sure, we've had our good and our bad moments at Wellington, but I can truly say I loved my experience. I have stuck it out through thick and thin with a lot of you, and formed an identity because of it. You may think to yourself, how can Wellington be characterized with those three alliterations? Food, friends, family. Well, like the overarching ideas I provided at the opening of my speech, everything can be tied back to this concept of someone. We are confined to a location, but aren't limited by the choices we have, just like food. We are a school that everyone accepts one another's quirky differences, just like friends. We are a school that not only you know everyone in your grade, but you know their first and their last name, just like family. Looking back at a letter I wrote to myself the final summer of 8th grade year, I couldn't help but smile at what I wrote. Sure, I learned that my handwriting had actually gotten worse as the years went by, but I also learned that I was excited for the path in front of me. And that's what we all need to do now. A chapter of our lives is closing. A chapter that was filled with the endless imagination of a child's mind and the struggles of being a young adult. However, we need to be excited at what lies ahead. No matter where each and every one of our lives takes us, we have that special bond that unites us. Some of us will become teachers, others lawyers. Some of us will become doctors, engineers, even mothers and fathers. But in the end, we will all be part of the Wellington class of 2013. Thank you.